So LFC 2022, make welcome Lewami and George.
All right, so quickly we'll move on to the panel session. And I would like to welcome up stage all of our panelists. And please, while I do so, I'd like you to please jam your hands together as they come up stage. First, I would like to welcome up stage Haneefah Abdurrahman. Thank you. Haneefah is best known as a tech community builder, and she's passionate about community management. She's currently the lead community manager at Ingressive for Good, a non-profit organization with a mission to create and increase the earning power of African youth through tech training resources for the growth of African startup ecosystem. Please join us again as we come up.
You're welcome, Haneefah. Next, we'll be having Xeus, Sameul Oladoku Alliance. Please let's clap for him. Thank you. Sameul Oladoku Alliance, Xeus the Great, is best known as the blockchain connoisseur, the decentralized finance analyst. Please let's be clapping. And founder of the much acclaimed Nirvana Academy. He's a student of the University of Lagos, pursuing a bachelor's in economy. His mantra is, to know is to be free. And hasn't only affected him, but has caused a ripple effect in the lives of millions of people. Please let's clap on stage as Xeus comes up. Let's clap for Xeus.
All right, guys, so the next panelist is Vannesa. Vannesa Eze Chidera. She's the CEO and founder of X60 DeFi Academy, an academy where she trained over 2,000 students on decentralized finance, directly and indirectly. She's a DeFi enthusiast and crypto investor. Please, a round of applause.
Thank you, Vannesa. And lastly, we'll be having our very own Coach Bori. Please let's clap for him. For Coach Bori. Olubori Paul is the founder of Golen, a foremost financial education learning platform. He's the founder of GoDigits, GoAffiliate, and TalkToMe.org, a platform that counsels people on various matters. He's also the founder of Youngers, a ministry for young people that is faith, finance, and education based. He's the definition of a finance apostle. Please let's clap for Bori as he comes on stage. Coach Bori. All right, we'll go on while we wait for him. Thank you so much.
Are we good? All right, great. So I have a question for you, Sameul. Great. Sameul, this question is for you. I know you've done a lot with respect to DeFi and crypto and Forex, right? So I'd like to ask a question. We have people here who are interested in DeFi, right? Newbies who want to delve into it. They've heard about it. They've probably seen it online. I would like to share tips for newbies who want to jump into DeFi.
Okay. Can everybody hear me clearly? Hello? Okay, can everybody hear me clearly? Okay, hi there. My name is Olaoyenikon Samuel Oladoku. Oladoku, which means wealth as vast as the ocean. I think in every place I've actually talked about decentralized finance. I did not come into decentralized finance in quotes as a trader. I came because of the technology, but most people will be like, we are not here for the tech, we are here for the money. And what most people do not realize is that in the tech is money, and you will not understand until you start gaining deep clarity. I think my basic definition of what DeFi is that DeFi is a system, is an innovation created for you to be your own bank and your own banker. Is that simple? And when you're trying to come into the world of decentralized finance, do not see it as a structure just for trading. It is bigger than that. DeFi is not just for traders. It is an innovation. DeFi is an innovation, that is literally going to revolutionize banking as we know it. Yes, it is young, and because of DeFi being young, there are so many issues that needs to be solved. But, more chaos means more innovation, and that is what it is. So if you're thinking of coming into DeFi, learn, DeFi, learn blockchain, and understand how you can bring your Web 2, what's the word now, skills integrate it into Web3, and then that is where the money is. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please a round of applause for Samuel.
All right, thank you so much, Samuel. Haneefah, over to you. We've heard a lot about DeFi, and now we know tech is something that is, uprising. So in a few minutes, can you tell us about your journey into tech, your transitioning?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? All right. I started coding. This is not much of a popular story. I started coding when I was 11, but it wasn't nurtured. It wasn't until I entered higher institution, LASU, that I got into tech fully. So I did a bit of front end. I did physical computing with the Raspberry Pi. I did data science. I did back end. I did full stack. I did a lot of stuff, actually. So that was kind of like, the back and forth understanding what tech is and what my journey would be like, what career would I want to do. So I and a couple of friends, we started the first tech community in my school called LASU Devs at the time. And that was how I started a career in community management, right, in dev relations. And then now I work as Ingressive for Good as the programs and community manager.
Thank you so much, Haneefah. If you're in LASU, kindly clap for her. LASU people, thank you so much.
All right, so for young people who are interested in tech, right? I mean, your story is quite unique, right? When young people are interested in tech, are there opportunities that Ingressive for Good is providing for such kind of individuals?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the mission for at Ingressive for Good is to train 1 million African youths in tech in 5 years.
Wow.
And so far, we've been able to do 135K people ever since we launched in 2020. It was just like yesterday or the day before yesterday that we announced that we had 200,000 community members. And again, we have a community specifically for students. So if you're a student, feel free to join the community called I4G Circles. And we also have ambassadors that lead these communities in their school. And a lot of what we do for these community members is to ensure that we provide free tech skills. We have the 1,000 Women in Design with Vannesa. We have Data Camp, where we have over 14,000 people currently learning on the Data Camp platform. We have the I4G Zuri. They're learning software dev, backend, I think product design as well. We have Zuri. We also got masterclass recently, and we launched product management as well with entry level last week, I think. Yeah, so we have like thousands of scholarships, and we have more coming on, very soon. I think this month we're going to be doing 1,000 women in data, and then over the next couple of months as well. So there are always, going to be more scholarships, more courses for you to be able to, start a career in tech.
All right, thank you so much, Haneefah. I would just like to state that I'm an ambassador for I4G. So please, join the I4G community. Over to you, Coach Bori. You've been in the forex space for close to 5 years. Can we please clap for him? Clap for Coach Bori, please. Can you tell us about your journey in tech? What's a common misconception about forex? Forex.
All right, thank you. Everybody thinks they can blow overnight. And I used to tell you that don't blow. You should become what? Successful. So the idea about forex is that you can make it immediately. But the problem is that you don't make it immediately. Even if you make it in few months, it's by luck or by chance. It's the way you learn about tech. I know some of my friends are learning about product design. They are learning coding. The skill didn't get there in a day. It took them months of consistent practice. So likewise forex trading, you have to consistently trade, understand and familiarize yourself with the market. That when you open your phone or you open your chart, you can, because you already understand, you can predict, okay, this thing is going to sell, this thing is going to buy. So over the years, it's been very challenging, but we've worked, personally and with my team, we've worked towards mastery. Mastery doesn't work overnight. So let patience be your guide and work over time. So you get it right.
Thank you very much, Coach Bori. Now over to you, Vannesa. We've taken stats of everyone here and realized that we have loads of students, right? I want to ask you, are we able to merge medical school and your pursuit for DEF? I understand you've trained over 2,000 persons, right? and I have a couple of persons here who will be interested in delving into DeFi and a couple of other technologies. Can you share with us your story and also counsel or advice for such persons?
Okay, hi guys. Is Vannesa, CEO X60 DeFi Academy. First thing I want you to know is if I can do it, then we can all do it. All right? If I can do it, then we can all do it.
Let's find it for that.
Thank you. So my journey. Okay, I'm actually a product of iMedia Academy. All right. I would always say. I would always say. What actually brought me into the DeFi space was Investor Sameul. Right. I was learning futures basically, and then I wanted attention from him as a tutor. All right, and I was not getting the attention because he was occupied and stuff like that. It's understandable. I'm just being honest, right? My story, actually. I wanted attention. I wanted, I wanted not just attention. I wanted to have value. I wanted to be able to, bring something to the table and, get his attention, basically, right? And I was like, okay, since he's already a boss in futures, right? Let me go into DeFi. Let me actually go into DeFi and, see how I can also, become somebody and stuff like that. So that's how, I paid for a class. I paid for iMedia Academy to be a student there. I learned well. I did not just learn. I actually learned well. I, made sure I was active in the community. I made sure I actually spoke up. I made sure I was, interacting with everybody, answering questions and stuff like that. All right. Now, in doing all that, I kind of got attention from people in the community. All right. Charity begins at home. If you're not doing something inside, you can't actually do it outside, all right? So it began from iMedia Academy. I was basically, helping out in any way I could, right? And after doing this, I got noticed. A particular owner of an academy wanted me to teach his students, right? Teach about 80 students. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. I was still learning, right? I was still learning, but then I got noticed, all right? And then he wanted me to teach students. And I did. Now, when I taught his students, I didn't just teach them anyhow, right? I actually taught them deeply, and then I got results from them. Basically, that was how I started, right? I got results from them. I got, people saying, oh, this class is nice, this. It was actually a paid class, all right? And then I taught them, and, that was where I started from, right? Now, after teaching them, people wanted me to actually start up an academy of my own, right? And then that was basically how I actually started, and the X60 Academy came about.
All right, thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for her, please. We'll take 4 questions, please. 4 questions. Please make it brief and to the point. All right? Thank you very much.
Hello, good afternoon. My question is directed to Xeus. Yeah, you always say like the market is full of opportunities during bear markets or bull markets. I want to know like your thought process on how you go about doing your research during these times.
Oh my God. What's your name?
In Kiki's voice, problem.
No, it's not a problem. It's okay, Toluwanimi. I'm of the opinion, for me, I don't know for anybody, I think it's a very controversial statement. I make very controversial statements every time. I do not believe in a bear market. I believe in a market full of opportunities, Whenever I talk about DeFi, I don't talk as a trader. I am not just a trader in the DeFi space, in the NFT space, I actually have, okay, let me tell you what I do in the DeFi space. I am a brand and marketing strategist in Web3, that's DeFi, and I also run project management, And if there's one thing I say is that the foundation of everything in DeFi is research. And one thing I'm very sure of is that money is constantly flowing somewhere. Opportunities are always somewhere. If today it is not DeFi, tomorrow it will be NFTs. I'm running project management, I'm running brand and marketing, but I'm not doing it in DeFi right now. It is majorly in NFTs. Based on research, for a fact that money is currently flowing in the NFTs market. And tomorrow, when we know that, okay, if Ethereum 2.0 is coming, so much money, TVL is constantly increasing, we're going to have builders. And if we're going to have builders, we're going to have people that, need project management, that need brand and marketing. And where am I going? There. And if, new innovations are coming and I do my research and I see that, okay, these things are going to do numbers, I go into trading and I trade. So listening to everything that you heard from me right now, for me, do you think that there's such a thing as a bear market? So that is it for me.
Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Zainab Adiromu, and I'm a recent graduate of English Linguistics from the Lagos State University. Yeah, and my question is directed to Haneefah, of course. So you said you started coding at 11. It means that you had some kind of experience or brush with tech. But for a person like me, there's like a circle, and I'm like looking into the circle, like from the edge. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening in there? So I literally want to go in, but I don't know where to start from. So what kind of advice would you give to a person like me? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question, Zainab. First and foremost, I love your English. And yeah, I mean, thank you. So a lot of the time, it's like very simple advice that I usually give for anybody. And like you even described it so clearly. You're looking into a circle and you're, finding yourself lost. That's like really descriptive. Anyways, look at what you're currently doing, right? You're currently doing English or whatever interest that you're currently doing. This goes to like anybody that wants to go into tech or that's finding themselves lost. And I think even Alex also mentioned it earlier, there are a lot of the non-coding and then the coding, roles in tech. So you're doing English. If you do not fancy coding, don't force yourself to do coding. There are non-coding roles that are, thousands of them in the space that you can also start to look, research, do a lot of research. Don't ask somebody to tell you what to do. That is going to be doing you a lot of disservice. So do a lot of research. Don't find yourself in the loophole of everybody is doing product management or everybody is doing design or everybody is doing coding, right? Do a lot of research. Find what connects with you and connect with what you're currently doing English, right? You can also even like do researches about people that have that also did English, that loved what they did and found themselves in a tech role, and then do a lot of research. And then the most important thing is to just pick one role, pick one course, pick one skill. Do not ever try to say that you want to do 2 things or 3 courses or 3 skills at the same time. And because again, you're just starting. Yes, you can find yourself that you've seen a lot of people, or we've seen a lot of people that started coding or that started front end and then did back end and now they're doing full stack or even data science, right? That's good, that's fine. But a lot of the time, those that are as experts in what you're doing, they started with just one course and then after that they picked up another thing. So just pick one, spend a lot of time in it, learn, fail at it, share what you're learning online. Is a culture at Ingressive for Good? Is there anybody that is beneficiary of any of our scholarship here? Thank you. What we would always tell you to do is that you should share what you're doing online, because from experience, from data, whenever you share what you do, even people that make skits like Kiki, there's a reason why they're sharing what they're doing online, because people give them feedback and they'll come back to come and do better, right? So do what you learn what you're doing, do better, share it online, and then, basically have a career in tech. I hope that answered your question.
And if symptom persists after 2 days, consult Haneefah. All right, we'll take the next question, the third.
Okay, so my name is Daniel. To add to that question, I'm directing my question to Haneefah. So I know this community management is what you do, and it's more like a non-tech role. And to other non-tech roles out there too, how much of tech do you need to know to be able to go into this roles? Because it's like non-tech, but you can't go there not knowing anything about tech and then you're feeling lost in the company and stuff like that. So how much of tech do you need to know that, okay, I can take up this non-tech role?
Very interesting question. I would say not so much, right? Because a lot of what I do doesn't necessarily need me to code or design, right? As a community manager, what I do is try to connect people or try to make sure that people are connected to each other. And especially if you're a community manager in the tech space, sometimes you might need a tech skill or know a little bit of tech, especially if you're doing like a DevRel, developers relations. So most of the time you have to, know coding or know about the API or the application. But other than that, if you're like doing pure core community management, you necessarily do not have to know a lot of tech skill or do a lot of those tech codes and stuff. But it gives you an edge if you have an idea of what they are. For example, at Ingressive for Good, we're teaching a lot of these tech skills, product management, data science, and coding, and all that. And we have, the Telegram groups where you are speaking with your fellow learners, and you have a technical questions. A lot of the time, I'm able to pick, or I'm able to understand a little bit of what you're asking and be able to give answers to it immediately. And most of the times, what we do is we bring in experts for you to be able to ask those people questions. So no, I would say 20% or less. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Haneefah. We'll take the final question. How many persons do we have there, please?
We have like 4.
Yeah. All right, so this is what we'll do to make it easy, right? You ask all of your questions all together, then we'll let our panelists answer them. Are we good? Does that work? All right, let's do that quickly, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My question is for Olubori. So, my question is centered around beginner traders. What do you think, what do you know can be used to tackle the circle of doom? When I say circle of doom, like traders, mostly beginners, they're not satisfied with one strategy. Like I was there because I'm a product of self-taught. So we are not satisfied with only one strategy. So what do you feel about how to tackle that? And because as a mentor, you have to tackle that for your mentees. Okay, the second question is, what do you feel about self-taught, being self-taught? What's your advice about being self-taught?
Thank you very much. We'll take the next question.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a banking and finance student, and I'm a real estate consultant. So I actually have flair for real estate, but I have fears for finance. That's why I'm a finance student. So there was a time I was talking to my friend, and all he was saying is that learn DeFi, and I don't really know how to go about it. But I just want to make people become proud homeowner. So I want to ask, how can I merge real estate with finance?
Or with DeFi?
DeFi,
all right.
yeah.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take the next question. I suppose that's for Sameul and Vannesa, right?
Yes,
question,
thank you.
Please.
Thank you so much. This question is actually for Sir Xeus. My name is Koyu Maladogun. So what would be your advice for me or someone like me who will be a graduate in the next few months? So, sorry, I'm from a private university, sorry.
So
on integrating mechanical engineering with financial marketing, because currently now I'm confused on what to leverage on. Yeah, what would be your advice for me or someone like me who is going to be a graduate in few months to come on integrating my line of
Sorry, ask your question again. Say it again.
What would be your advice for someone like me who is going to be a graduate in the next few months on integrating my line of study?
One house.
Mechanical engineering with crypto, DeFi, and the financial market in general towards harnessing the same aura of energy into making money and impacting many lives like the one you are doing just now, because currently I'm confused on what to leverage on.
All right, thank you very much. The final question, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Tosin, and I'm Africa's #1 polymath. Now, my question is literally for every other young person out there and for students. I actually want to ask that what do you do, right, when you have something to offer, but there's this block, right? So I have a friend, a distant friend, who says she's perfect at writing, but when it comes to getting paid to write, it's a problem. She cannot be paid to write. And then there's a conversation of decentralize your finance. So how do you take a skill or a talent that's inherent and then you actually make money off that without feeling guilty or bad?
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. I suppose that's all. One final one. All right. Let's take the final one.
Yeah. Someone said, "I'm a content writer. Where is my place in the crypto or Web3 world? How do I get jobs?"
All right.
Sorry, please, the last guy. Vannesa didn't get your question. Was it to Vannesa? It was a general question. Okay.
All right. So we begin with Barry.
All right. The circle of doom about getting strategy that work. During our hangout in February, I was telling people about the fact that a lot of you know ICT, a lot of you know SMC. And people ask me, do I trade all these things? I'm like, no. And when I mean no, it doesn't mean that I don't have an affiliation to them. But it's the fact that I have studied them. What ICT calls order block is what I call engulfing candlesticks. What ICT calls some different stuff. So it's not about following blindly what somebody is doing. They don't have two heads. They also came up with that stuff. So when I'm viewing my chart, I'm trying to really understand the language of the market. You understand? So when you are, there will be a time that a strategy will be working actually. Trust me. Recently, there was something I was trying. I and my friend, we were doing it back to back. It was working. Just put your trade here, massive entry, tight stop loss, and then boom. And later, it stopped. It looked like it stopped working. You understand? And we started losing money. I'm like, okay, it's like this one don't cast. It's a strategy. So what you do is that every time you encounter that, you take a break, you go back. When somebody asks me that, what do I do? Ask me, what do I do when I take a loss? I say, I go back to start trading demo. You know, many of us have not spent enough time trading our demo account. We want to jump into trading a real account. We want to make the money fast. So what you do is take a break, go back and trade demo, and treat the demo like a real account, and study the chart again. A new strategy. The way you got the other one that was working before, a modified one, because we have Web 1, I'm sure. Maybe we have Web 0, and then we had Web 1, we had Web 2, now we're in Web 3, right? So strategy also can come in strategy 1, advanced strategy 2. So every day you keep on developing. And also, in terms of mentorship, you might not be able to get your desired mentor. The truth is that I may not be able to have time. I have resources on my page everywhere. My courses are out there that you can hear what I'm teaching. But there are some people, you can take your friend as a mentor. You can take even someone younger than you as a mentor. This is my mentor, he's my guy. So you can take anybody as your mentor. It doesn't have to be that far person, those Wall Street traders that that has to be your mentor. Start with the little things. And like Vannesa said, she went to build herself and got the attention she was looking for. So when you grow to that level, those people that you think, are this big mentor, you can now have access to them and then get the quality things you want to get from them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for it. All right, we'll take the next question. Samuel.
The person that asked the question, you would be a graduate in 3 months. What's your name? Where are you? Stand up, please. What's your name? Oladokun Toib. First of all, I personally loved the fact that you kept saying one thing over and over again, and people were laughing, and they were showing you, and you kept saying it again. I love it when, let me be honest with you, I love it when people are shameless with what they want. I once stood on this stage dancing for 50,000 naira. Yes, I'm still a student of this school. It was in 100 level. I once stood on this stage dancing for 50,000 naira. I was broke as hell. I used to trek from, Bariga to class, FSS and shit. So I like that, first of all, you are being very shameless in what you want. And I think that, for me, that is actually like one of the major things you need. If you are shameless in trying to get what you want, I don't care if maybe you did well in school, you did not do well in school, you will get it. I knew how many times I had to beg certain people to learn certain things I know now in the space. I knew the kind of sleepless night I had to, take to learn things, to do things, to become things. So for me, it is not even about you want to go into DeFi, you want to go into this thing. If you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to be shameless enough to get what you want, believe you me, you will get it. So you are leaving school in 3 months. Actually set a plan, probably set a goal. You love DeFi. I would advise that you actually learn. For me now, I'm currently not teaching. I closed my roadmap since February. I've been teaching since February last year. And I promised myself that I'm going to stop teaching in 1 year. And my goal is that it was not just enough for me to learn DeFi. It was that I will teach people and I will cause a ripple effect, And for everybody I've taught, they are crazy beasts in the space. I've stopped teaching for now. I'm just focused on the jobs I'm doing in the space. But I understand that I have students. I have heavy beasts that are doing crazy things in the space. Everybody. Just look for people that have been there and done that. You can be self-taught, beautiful, but when you say you are getting a mentor, you are not learning those things, or you are not learning the normal DeFi NFT, you are learning their experience. I always say that some people are epitome of knowledge, of wisdom that you will never find in books. Those things are called experience. That is literally the only reason you get mentors, not because of the knowledge, but because you are trying not to make the same mistakes they've made in the same space. What's your name again? Oladokun. My name is Oladokun, and I'm not going to do that. Let me just do this. I would make sure that in DeFi, in NFTs, in anything you want to do, I'm giving you an open check right now. I will make sure I follow you.
My name is Oladokun. My name is Oladokun.
My name is Oladokun.
Be shameless. All right, thank you very much.
Haneefah.
So I think I'm taking the question around content writing and how it could go into Web3. I think a lot of time, or a lot of the answers are kind of like reflective of that. Similar to Web 1, similar to Web 2, content writing could also kind of go into Web 3 in terms of the similarities. You could do freelancing, you could write content around the Web 3 technologies, you could dispel the false narrative that they've written around Web3 or Bitcoin or NFT and how it is a bubble and all that. So those are like you could also do copywriting. You could also do like digital marketing. There are a lot of things you can do around content writing in Web3. It's not just there's no big thing out there, right? So yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Did you get that? All right, thank you so much, everyone. It's just been fun. Was it value for our time? Was it value for our time?
I think there's
We'll be calling the wrap. All
I
right.
think there's one more question.
There's one more question.
Yeah. I think someone asked about getting jobs or something.
All right then, please attempt that. We'll move on.
Vannesa.
Thank you, Vannesa. Then.
Okay, so the first thing I would say about getting jobs, you need to know what you are good at. People go to school, secondary school, right? And then they they go to science class, they go to arts class, they go to technical class, right? Why? Because they know their area of expertise, right? They actually know what they can handle. All right, so it's the same thing in getting jobs. There's nothing big in DeFi jobs. These DeFi jobs they are hearing everywhere. It's actually nothing big in DeFi jobs. All right. The first thing I would say is know what you are good at. Know what you can handle. Right. I myself, I'm actually a marketing manager in charge of Outlaw Apes. Marketing manager in charge of Noji. Marketing manager in charge of Learnerverse. I think I have about 4 projects I'm actually marketing. I went into this field because I knew my strength. I knew what I can actually be good at. Right. Now, if you're a DeFi analyst, right, you know how to analyze tokens, you want to make a research on maybe Krabada or other tokens, basically, what you do is you go to maybe CoinMarketCap, right, and then you research on this project. Now, there are people on the inside, there are people behind the scenes of in this DeFi that actually make the project come out to be how it is, right? They are moderators, they are community managers. When you go into your Telegram channel to make your research, to ask your questions. There are people there to actually answer your questions. Do you understand? And these people behind the scene are actually people that are, they are working for the project. Do you understand? So first things first, you need to identify what you can do. Right? You need to identify what you can do. Somebody said copywriting, somebody said content writing and stuff. These are all jobs that you can actually offer in this DeFi space. Right? Now the second thing is, when everybody is digging for gold, you should be selling shovel, right? You should actually be selling the shovel. You should not be the 1,001st person to dig for gold. Why? Because you would probably fail, right? You would actually probably fail. What does that mean? It means you should identify a problem and provide solution for that problem. When everybody is, going the normal moderate them, the way moderators ask, to get jobs. Hi, I'm this one. I want to work for you because I can do this. Now, these devs actually see a lot of write-ups like this. Why? Because people have learned their 5 jobs. Job don't plenty pass people. People don't plenty pass the job where they want apply for. All right. So in applying for a job, you should not go the normal way. You should not just go the way everybody is going. You should not just go and dig for gold. You should actually identify a problem and provide solution for that problem. You don't have to just go directly to go and ask the dev for what you can tell him your qualifications. Basically, you can show him, right? You can provide solution for his project. Now you go to a particular Telegram channel and then you see that okay, the members are not active or something is not happening there, and then you are like, okay, you want to actually have a riddle night. Now, I'm actually a marketing manager in charge of a particular project, and I was behind the scenes, right? Now, a student of mine just came into the channel. I actually invited people to join the channel, and then he came on board, and he was like, instead asking riddles, he said, just asking, okay, I am this, and that. People on the inside, I was there. They were like, the dev was like, wow, who's this guy, right? Vannesa, is it from you? I was like, yeah, he's one of mine. And he was just making the server funny, right? Fun and stuff like that. So instead of going the direct way, you can actually go through other means. You can actually identify a problem and provide solution for it. Now, this guy, they actually told him that night, that, Vannesa, we need this guy on board. We need him to make the server this active always. He got the job instantly as a moderator. He didn't even apply. He didn't apply for the job. What did he do? He went the community way. He went using the community approach, right? He just entered the server, made the server fun, brought in about 5 people with him. Okay, I'm going to be asking questions. He even did it from my community. He said, okay, that you guys, I'll ask riddles, you guys will answer. Do you get? And then they formed that, and then he was asking, they were answering. They seemed like members that were enjoying the game. Do you understand? But then this happened, and then the people on the back end actually saw this and said, okay, this guy is not even applying for a job. He's already working for us, right? And then they employed him. So what I'm saying is, instead of going through the normal approach, instead of being a gold digger, right? Sell the shovel. Go through the other approach, and then you would actually find yourself, you will see these devs coming to you, right? You will see these devs actually coming to you. You don't need to even stress going to them. Another thing is, when I actually talk to these devs, when I talk to them, I'm actually always in charge. I do the asking of questions, right? They don't even ask me, oh, what can you do? I tell them, tell me what your project is about, and I will know if I want to work for your project. I'm the one in charge. Why? Because I'm the one asking the questions. Do you understand? So always be in charge. Always know your words. Know that these people need you. They are the ones that need your expertise, and then you are the one that is working for them. But it should not be like you're going to beg them for the job. You should actually be in charge. Do you understand? So yeah.
Thank you so much, Vannesa. Thank you. Identify the problem, find a solution, be unique, and know your worth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Until we come to the wrap to the end of this session, please let's jam our hands together as they walk off the stage.
Thank you so much.
Go back.